per se. I know, I mean, as a business owner, it doesn't impact you that much. You know, exports is important for you, so interference from the government in that sense for you isn't that big a deal. But I was just wondering if you heard Mr. Arvind Kejriwal yesterday at that CII event talking to industry, taking questions, etc. I don't know if you did, but if you didn't, let me just say his message essentially was that we're not anti-industry, anti-business, we are pro-business, we are just anti-crony capitalism. So I mean, that was the message, and he tried to sort of reach out to the industry in the first of publicly sort of broadcasted kind of interaction between industry and you know, the new Aam Aadmi Party leader. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this. If you do, please, I mean, would be great to hear them.
Well, first of all, I did not watch that because I was not aware that it was going to be on. I read about it in bits and pieces in the newspaper today. Secondly, if I may say so, I am a fan of Arvind Kejriwal, and I hope he would not mind my saying this, that I have had the occasion to meet him more than once, and I resonate very strongly with his thoughts and with his ideology. You know, it is not entirely true to say that Bajaj Auto is not affected by government in the sense that we are not a IT industry or some industry that is regulated. Let me give you a small example. You know, today the three-wheeler that we make is perhaps the humblest of automobile products that you can have. It is driven for livelihood by the most modest members of our country. And you know, people of all classes, but particularly middle class, lower middle class, are the ones who use it. For the life of me, I am not able to understand why it is that barring one state, that is the state of Gujarat, where Mr. Narendra Modi was, if I may say so, progressive enough to say that let supply and demand decide sales. In every other state, whether it's Delhi, whether it's Maharashtra, whether it's Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra Pradesh, it completely perplexes and foxes me as to why there must be permits for a three-wheeler. I mean, why can't it just be a free sale situation? And as a result of this, there is enormous black marketing. And I brought to Arvind's attention, as I have to other people in government in Delhi, the fact that a Bajaj three-wheeler that should sell for ₹1 lakh, that sells for ₹1 lakh in Gujarat, sells for as much as 3 to 4 lakhs of rupees in Delhi. Why this black marketing, and who is benefiting from it? It's not the company, it's not the consumer, it's someone else who is there in between. And today, this permit Raj affects my three-wheeler business enormously, because when permits are released, my sales go up. When permits are not released for reasons best known to the powers that be, sales go down. And you can imagine this artificial supply and demand gap that is created leads to what kind of black marketing as far as the permits are concerned. So, therefore, while I may not be in the same boat as a IT company, as I said, or a pharma company, but I am very much still part of the system that is governed by the government, and these kind of blatant examples of corruption do exist and do affect even my industry right under the nose of the central government in the city of Delhi. So this is something I did share with him, and while I have not watched what he said to CII, but I can imagine what he must have said, and I have no hesitation in saying that I fully agree with it.
Right, those are good examples. When I said that you're not that impacted, what I meant was not to the degree that some are who are completely government facing, right? You know, infrastructure, metal mining, and those kind of industries. But I mean, as you explained, you're not immune to you know, government policy and things like that. So you'd expect if the Aam Aadmi Party shows up strongly after the elections, he'd actually tackle with some of these things. Do you have any thoughts, sir, on prospects for the Aam Aadmi Party out of 2014 elections? Because traditional pollsters, etc., say, well, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the, there's too little time, they can't do what they did in Delhi nationwide, so, 10 seats, 12 Lok Sabha seats, that's about it. But do you agree with that sort of thinking, or do you agree with the other side, which says that, well, there's a big swing in favor of AAP, which is standing on the anti-corruption platform, and when there is a swing, it's difficult to say where that finally goes and stops. So it'd be completely foolish to put numbers to what their prospects are out of 2014 elections, sir.
Well, Prashant, let me give you one more example if you have a couple of minutes. Today, it doesn't matter whether you are selling a scooter, a motorcycle, a three-wheeler, a car, a truck, or a bus. I think I would be entirely accurate in saying that you cannot register at an RTO in this country any automobile unless at the front end somebody on behalf of your dealer is paying some kind of a bribe to the RTO on virtually every vehicle. Now I know this sounds like a preposterous allegation, but this is the truth. This is what this country has come to. That if I buy a motorcycle worth 50,000 rupees, unless I am going to put in another 200-300 rupees, for what? For someone who is anyway supposed to do a certain job as simple as registering my vehicle. I cannot get the vehicle registered. So I think if we have been conditioned into accepting these things, whether it is as small as 200 rupees at an RTO office or apparently thousands of crores of rupees in coal or mining or whatever it is. Well, if you are conditioned, then as they say, you get the government you deserve. But if you want to see change, then I think, as someone said, I can't remember who said this, I think it was Peter Drucker who said that if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. And I think what he said is very clever. He did not say if you want something new, you have to do something new. He said when you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. So perhaps people in this country have to pause and think and reflect and stop exercising their franchise the way they used to in the past. I have no idea about politics. I don't know which way the wind is blowing, so I would not hazard a guess as to how much wind there is beneath the sails of AAP. I don't know how AAP functions. All I know is Arvind Kejriwal. But I would say this, whether it's corporations, whether it's countries, whether it's teams, as in cricket teams, leadership makes all the difference. Whether it's Margaret Thatcher, whether it's Lee Kuan Yew, whether it's Mahendra Singh Dhoni, leadership makes the difference. And, at the end of the day, we have to bet on leaders. And I think my personal sense is Arvind Kejriwal is a leader who is worthy of having bets placed on him.
That's very, very well put, sir. It's always a pleasure to listen to you, and it's great to hear that perspective. Appreciate it very much, Mr. Bajaj.